Well, it looks like a gorgeous day out here today, and it is. We're into the 70s Fahrenheit, but the wind has been blowing the last few days quite a bit. On the one hand, it's nice because it's dried out a lot of the clay, but on the other hand, it makes it kind of difficult to do any decent video, so I'm kind of hiding in the windless zone here behind the trailer. Let me walk out here and see if I can shelter the camera a little bit and show you what's going on here. So I've pulled away a little bit of the dirt around here, tried to make it so that it would drain, and I think the drainage is working. You can see that the water kind of puddled up a little bit in there, so I'm going to have to figure out a proper grade to get it out further. But for the amount that it rained, I'm not too disappointed. Oof, the winter is wearing off of me slowly. I still feel like a bear, winter fat. So I'm making some progress on this. I need more clay to throw down in this trench. If we wanted to, at least we could put some more skirting around, come up at least past the HVAC. So once the soil dries out, I'll scoop clay up with the bucket, bring it over here and just shovel it directly into the trench. I think that'll be the most efficient. Well, I was looking around looking for something to do, and I remembered a picture that Ryan sent me from way over there. I need to go take a closer look at that and see what's going on with it. I didn't think it was that far gone, but I guess it was. Reasonably tall tree. I had hoped to put a rope on and pull it out a little ways so it would miss our little composting area here. Definitely destroyed two of our fence posts. Wow, pretty much pulled itself out from the roots. I guess I'll cut it up and make a decision if any of it's good for outdoor firewood or not. I guess we could probably chip some of this too. No harm in chipping what we can. But yeah, look at what those Japanese beetles have done to our ash trees. All the ash are getting destroyed just like this one. Maybe tomorrow, if it's not raining, I'll come out and start cutting this up. At least get it off the compost heap, and then we can decide what we're going to do with that heap. Well, next day, brought my saw. Kind of late today because, you know, work. Let me figure out what I'm going to do here. Well, folks, I got it all cut up in spite of the fact I got out here late. I'm gonna have to figure out how to pull that stump out of there. Probably put a chain around it and drag it out with the tractor is gonna be my guess. Not bad for about an hour's worth of work, I think. I take it back. About 45 minutes worth of work to get everything cut up. I'm just glad to be out here. Have a chainsaw in my hand. That cedar right there, that guy's coming down. There's parts of him that may not be too stressed that I could put on the sawmill. It's still quite damp back here. I guess this last little bit of the trailer is going to have to wait a little bit because it's supposed to start raining again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. or thereabouts. We're going to go up and clean up the rest of that tree that's up there. Get all the wood out of there and chip up the branches. All right, I did some adjustment on those springs earlier. We'll see what kind of difference that makes. I still need to adjust the sensitivity of this cutoff bar here. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll start throwing sticks in and we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that the roller will pick up the larger sticks easier. We'll see. I might have to adjust some more. All right, first step is to unscrew this plastic cap here. I brought my universal nut rounders with me. Sensitivity, I think in is going to be more sensitive or less sensitive. All right. All right, I'll get you set up and we're going to try this out a little bit. I don't recall if I ever showed you how the PTO engagement works on this tractor, so I will do that now. There are two switches, one that engages it at all. So you want to make sure that this thing is in off position, and then with the RPMs down low, just press this button to engage the system so that it can be turned on. And then here we have manual setting and the auto setting. When it's on auto, if the tractor is out of gear, it turns the PTO off. Usually I use it in manual, so I'll turn it that way. And I don't know if you can see down there, but the PTO shaft is spinning. It's got all of the safety gear on the outside so that you're not exposed very much to the turning shaft. And so that's turning a hydraulic pump. So now, all I need to do is spin the hydraulic pump with PTO up. We'll run it about there. Well, I've come to the conclusion that those springs are still too tight. Even 2 or less than 3 inches has a lot of trouble getting underneath the roller, so I am going to loosen those springs off a fair amount more. And we'll see if that works any better now. I'm going to move the tractor up behind there towards the barn. There's a whole pile of wood up there that needs chipped. A little bit of chip there. I was throwing some over here, but it's blowing back on me. But this is a big branch off of the other tree that we just cleaned up. And it spread branches all over the place in here. But I'm going to have to get back in here with the chainsaw. Did fairly good, I think. Got all of this mess cleaned up except for 2 big chunks of log. This one's only about 4 feet long, but I'll mill it anyway. And then this longer one here has the crotches in it that I want to try to get something out of. Even if I just get 1 board out of it, it would be kind of cool, I think. It's windy out. Yeah. Purple sand cherry is starting to show buds. Might have to chop off this one. And our Nemeko cherry is already blooming. Look at that. So blooms on it. Thornless raspberry is alive.
Juneberry's got some buds on it. But one of them's chokeberry, the other's Juneberry.
Juneberry, that's the same as Saskatoon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so one of these is a Saskatoon bush.
Looks like one of my sages is still alive.
Here is my widowmaker from the other side. I haven't even seen this side myself yet. But if we zoom in, you can see how it's just barely sitting on its own stump. And it's all hung up in the cedars that are back behind it there. A little orchid in with the purple dead nettle. And one lonely dandelion. And here's some field mustard. If you pluck just one of those tiny little blossoms, that'll warm you up real quick. And the leaves are good for salads apparently as well. You don't get as much of the mustard taste in them. Got a nice little patch of orchids here. You try to encourage them to grow because they are rather pretty when you get enough of them together. These little guys here are called henbit, in the same family as purple dead nettle.
Yeah, good girl, you got it. You gonna give it to Daddy? You didn't have to do that. Yeah, that works good, doesn't it? That's a lot easier on Daddy's arm.